Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Gallo, and well, in this one, it's just gonna be like a yap video as to why I kind of haven't had the motivation to play Rivals or just like cover Rivals for the last, like, I guess almost 2 weeks now. So let's get into the video. All right, so let's get into the first reason why I haven't been uploading Rivals or just haven't had the drive to make Rivals content, and it's simply because, like, when I play an FPS game or a shooter game or something, I typically play them for the main, like, sole purpose of wanting to compete and wanting to get to a high rank, because it feels rewarding to be able to get to a high rank and stuff in the game that you're playing, right? That's why most people play like Valorant or Apex or something, is to become Pred or to become Radiant, and the same thing in Overwatch too. And that's why I enjoy playing those games. When I initially got into Rivals, I was like, this is just going to be like a League of Legends, but a hero shooter, bro. This is like right up my alley. And so I just jumped in, just kept playing and stuff. But it came down to the systems that are currently in the game are meant to burn people out, okay? So like what's it called? The seasons and stuff changed to 2-month formats, and they were basically resetting the ranks by 7 divisions every single season. That led to a lot of burnout, and I think that's why this community is so toxic, is because people haven't stepped away from the game. You know, they haven't touched another game since Rivals has come out, and I think that's kind of a big problem. And the main reason why I haven't really wanted to play or like just play competitive in the first place is just it doesn't feel worth grinding to. Like, the same toxic people are going to be in one above all too. So it's like, what is the point of me grinding up to a rank to try and get to this high level when people like kind of just want to toss and throw and not want to try anymore? And it makes me like not want to play, because it's like, what's the point in grinding in this game if like I'm going to get this superficial medal in this game that's going to be reset the following season, and the same people who are down here in Grandmaster, I'm GM1 I think right now, they're the same people I'm gonna be seeing in one above all later if I get up there, or Eternity or something like that. And it's like, bro, like, what is the actual point of me like spending the time to grind and get good at this game if no one is like wanting to try in the games anymore? If someone doesn't get healed, people are like, oh, GG's is over, and then they call it a wraps and they just toss. And it's like, what is even, I don't see the point of grinding. And so that was like the main reason why I stopped playing. And the other thing, and this is kind of like a twofold problem, right? So if they were to ever make it so that the game was competitively balanced, then I couldn't care. I wouldn't care really about people being toxic and throwing, to be honest with you. Because if the game isn't frustrating and it's mainly just a community, I can deal with that, because I can just mute them. I'll be fine. If someone decides to throw, it would be unbeknownst to me, because, you know, I would just mute voice chat, mute like text chat and stuff, and just play. You know, I would do that. That's perfectly fine. The problem is that this game is incredibly imbalanced. And what I mean by that, I've already said it multiple times in other videos, so I won't go too far in depth onto that, because I have a video talking about my full thoughts on Marvel Rivals after a full year. But basically, it's like, since my main role is support, and I play support in like Overwatch, Paladins, League, what's it called, Apex and Valorant, I always default to the more supportive oriented roles, because I like having utility and stuff to help my team succeed. That's what I like playing in these games. But in Rivals, it's pretty much, you just have to hold left click on your team. If you let go of left click, they die. If you reload at a wrong time, or like, let's say you run out of ammo at a wrong time, your teammate dies or your tank falls over, and then you get blamed for that. And it's like, what is this playstyle loop, bro? And like in Overwatch, for example, I was even showing some of my viewers Overwatch that haven't played another hero shooter before, and they're just like, wow, this is really cool that like the supports in this game don't all just spam healing. Like, some of them have very minimal healing, and they're all util or all damage, and they're basically just another DPS character but with utility. And that's the reason why support is so fun in that game. I don't think anyone can disagree that support in Overwatch is just better designed, because you can run triple support in Overwatch and it not even be a problem. One, because sustain isn't their primary focus, and I fully believe that sustain being so high in this game is the reason why a lot of players, in my opinion, are pretty bad. Like, some people don't know basic regrouping, like at all, just like a strategy at all. And you're like, why are you staggering? And I'm not staggering, bro. I'm just like going in. And it's like, that's the exact same thing as, you know what? Like some of the basics and stuff of hero shooters just seem to be like so forgotten in Rivals, just simply because like there's some basics in MOBAs, right? Like if you played Dota, you would know how to play League of Legends. Obviously after like adjusting to all of the new legends and stuff, or not, what are they called again? I forgot. But like essentially when there's a new character and stuff, that's what you have to adjust to, and your builds and the different items, and like there's different intricacies, but like the game sense is the exact same on Dota as far and League of Legends and almost every single MOBA. If you hop into any other random MOBA that's out there, you have the like general same game sense that you would in, you know, your previous game that you played. And the same applies to Overwatch, Paladins, as well as Marvel Rivals. And a lot of people are just new to this genre, and so they don't know the basics and stuff. But a lot of the times, healing in this game feels like a big band-aid. And so a lot of the tank players that you see overextend because they don't know the limits of said supports, but they're so used to getting that blanket and band-aid of healing that like they don't play as smart. In Overwatch, tanks in that game know that supports can't exactly keep them up if they're out of position that well, and so you see a lot more like smarter tank players. That goes for DPS players as well, by the way, and supports in that game have learned to be self-sufficient because that's the way that their supports were designed. That's the way that there's like characters were designed in general. They're like meant to be self-sufficient. Ana, for example, is essentially Luna Snow, but you're staying in the back, far away from your team, sniping at your teammates and the enemies, and like if you got dove or something, you have the tools to be able to defend yourself if you're a good Ana player. And in Overwatch, supports in those games, like DPS players have to respect a good support player because good support players are able to manage their cooldowns well, their positioning well, their damage well, and still be able to fit in and weave in heals in between their damage. And any like Overwatch coach that, you know, tells you how to rank up as a support in that game is to not healbot. Healbotting is not the way that you climb up the ranks, even on characters as simple as Mercy. Mercy is like the token healbot support that I feel like Rivals took a lot of inspiration from because Mercy was so popular. But almost like every single like time a coach tells you on Mercy to try and what you want to do to climb is to, one, make your movement like something completely unpredictable. You have to like master your movement on the character, and the second thing is to utilize your damage boost because that is like the main utility form of Mercy, and that's the way you climb. And so now that a lot of Mercy players know that, the floor for that character has risen a lot. In this game, there's not really that aspect. Most of these supports are designed to primarily just be sustain bots that like you don't have any room to either fit your util in or your damage in. And like even if you even take your left click off of your tank for one moment, they can just die, just simply because the damage is so incredibly busted in this game that you have to have over-tuned healing. And to me, as someone who's primarily like a support player in most of these games, it's just super disappointing to see. So that's another reason why I kind of just haven't been playing. But don't get me wrong, I know you guys have probably watched this so far and you're like, oh, this guy's just negative, just quit the game. Listen, bro, getting a hero every single month is too hard not to quit, bro. Like, and I'm a big Marvel fan, so that's why I keep playing, bro. The chance of my favorite characters getting added to Marvel Rivals is the reason why I keep playing, bro. If they ever drop Danny Rand into this game, or Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just so like in depth. They have so many characters and stuff like X-Men and things like that, that like it's too good not to quit. You know what I mean? Then the skin prices in this game are pretty good. As a pure casual game and just quick play only, this game is still a blast. Yes, there are frustrating things to play against. I absolutely still hate Daredevil and Bucky because I feel like those two characters just have overloaded kits that kind of just on what would have been a pretty skillful character is buffered out by the fact that their numbers and like over shielding and stuff is just so high that it defeats the point of playing someone like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, why would you play Black Panther or Spider-Man when you could just play Daredevil? Why would you play Iron Fist or Magic if you could just pick Daredevil? So stuff like that is the reason why I'm frustrated. If the community stayed toxic and they did nothing for the toxic community, the least I feel like they could do is to balance the game to a point where it's like it feels like a competitive game that you're grinding. It doesn't feel like a competitive game that you're grinding when ultimates last like 10 seconds. Like that's like a really, really long time. And I don't know, maybe it's because like, oh, I don't know, maybe every single other hero shooter in existence didn't have ultimates that lasted that long. And if they did, they were nerfed immediately because everyone thought it was just obnoxious to play against. No one likes playing against the ultimate that lasts 10 seconds and no one dies in. Or like no one likes playing against the ult that lasts 10 seconds and if you stand in it for 2 seconds, you just die. Like no one likes those free value ultimates that like quite frankly take zero to little to no skill to use. No one likes doing those, you know? And so I would really like it if this game really just kind of honed in on like balance. Because if the game was balanced in a way where like, yes, there was gonna be some broken characters, but in general, if old ultimates lasted like max 6 seconds, if healing and damage were less in the game, if sustain and like health pulls in this game were less, it would feel a lot better. It would be a big learning curve because everyone would have to adjust to the lower healing numbers and lower damage numbers and stuff like that. But right now, the whole reason why I play in general is just the Marvel IP and the fact that the potential of this game to turn into another League of Legends with 100+ characters. I think that's sick. And like, that's something Overwatch can't compete with. I love Overwatch, bro. But like, there's not a single chance they can keep up with Rivals pacing. One, because they have to obviously design new characters. And it's really hard to get people to play tank with an original IP when tank is unironically the most boring role. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible to make a what's it called, tank and supports that are appealing to people that want to play DPS, but in general it's a lot harder. With a game like Marvel Rivals, with the IP behind it, you can drop Ghost Rider in, you can drop Green Goblin in as a support or something, or Mysterio as a support, or Sandman, or Juggernaut, Colossus and stuff as tanks. Like, you have that power in the Marvel IP that like something like Overwatch and Paladins just don't have. Same with like League of Legends and stuff. I'm not sure which role is the least popular or something, but like in overall, like what's it called, in Marvel Rivals, this is the one game where like the IP can really carry and distribute the players properly. You don't have to keep adding a bunch of DPS. You can make fun and innovative support and tank designs that people want to play on top of just them being a popular character. Gambit is a really popular character, and now a lot of people are wanting to play support because of him. You know, that's the power you have with an IP as strong as Marvel. So if you're still here watching the video and you're like, oh, well, you've been negative this entire time and like, why don't you just quit? Bro, like the reason why I play is for characters like Gambit that get added. I love Gambit as a character in Marvel, and he finally got added into my favorite role. Bro, that's like a dream come true, bro. Now, if they ever add Spider-Gwen or Silk or like White Fox to this game as a support, bro, listen, I'm gonna be here forever. Straight up. And that's why I play. Like the whole, like hero shooter is probably my favorite genre of multiplayer game in general. I don't really like BRs that much. Tac shooters are okay, but hero shooters is where I've sunk the majority of my gaming tenure on. Like I've played Overwatch since the launch. I played Paladins for a long period of time too. And adding another hero shooter to this genre was just like, it was just amazing. And it came at the exact moment where I was getting burnt out on Overwatch. And so when I came here, I was like, this is gonna be a good game, and I'm glad it blew up. But if you guys are seeing me complain about the game, it's not really me complaining, it's more providing constructive criticism, because when you really like something, you'll want it to improve and want it to get better. The constructive criticism I provide in my videos and stuff, they're mainly, their sole purpose is to make this game and put this game in a better spot. Whether you agree with my takes or whether you agree with takes, whether you agree with my takes or whether you're like, you don't agree with my takes, they're mainly just there to give my aspect as to what they could do to potentially improve the game. They don't have to listen to what I say. They don't have to listen to what a lot of other people say. But the more we voice our criticisms and stuff, it I don't know, it leads them into a better direction. And in my opinion, the thing that this game has that other games like this don't is that you have the Marvel IP to balance out and distribute your players to the roles you want them to. If you really wanted to make a lot of tank players, make Deadpool a tank. You know what I mean? Like make Deadpool a tank, make I don't know what other characters that are in the works, but like you put popular characters like that into the tank and support roles, trust me, bro. You add more gambits to this role and you'll have a lot of people wanting to play like support in this game. And I don't know. That's just kind of like my rant. Again, I have no script for this, so it is what it is. I just want to give you guys my full thoughts on why I haven't been really uploading Rivals content. I've kind of been lost on what to upload, but I thought about it a lot and I'm like, well, Marvel Rivals is kind of just the perfect game for me because I love hero shooters, and getting a new hero every single month is just too good. Not only just for content, but it's also just good for players. It gives something fresh to like play in the game, and I like that. I'm a person who loves trying out new characters and stuff, and unfortunately in Overwatch, quite literally the only role I really enjoy is support. It just so happens that all the characters I enjoy are in that role. There are a few DPS and stuff I enjoy. There's like 2 tanks and stuff I enjoy in there as well, but in my opinion, Marvel has the sauce. Like, I love so many of these DPS characters, and I enjoy playing tank in this game too. Like, I enjoy a lot of the roles in this game, but you know, that's the whole main reason why I you know, stopped uploading Rivals content for a bit. I got burnt out, truth be told. I was uploading 4 videos a week, you know, drawing my own thumbnails. It's a lot. So I'm probably going to, you know, limit myself, go down to like 2 videos a week maybe. I also want to keep uploading discussion videos because I think those are fun, like the ones I'm doing right now. But I also want to just upload gameplay stuff, maybe some stuff on Overwatch too, you know? If there ever is another hero shooter in the future that comes out, I want to be able to cover that. I want to expand it into just a more hero shooter channel rather than just a Marvel Rivals channel. So yeah, I guess that's the future for the channel, I guess. Thank you guys for sticking with me so far and being very supportive and stuff. Means a lot to me. But just so you guys know, I will still be covering Rivals. I will still be covering Overwatch and stuff in the future as well. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. This one is kind of just a long ramble of what I, you know, personally found issues with this game. Again, I love Rivals right now a lot. I do. Like, there's a reason why I can't put it down. I can never uninstall this game because just the potential of this roster getting to over 100 characters and being like a League of Legends but a hero shooter, that's just everything I've wanted in the hero shooter genre. So there's not a chance I'm quitting. But every time I complain, just know that it comes from like a place of just wanting this game to be in a better spot, right? So if it sounds like I'm disliking the game, it's not, okay? There's nothing that could really make me quit other than maybe just like never adding another support ever in the game and we just get 50 million duelists. That might make me quit. But you know, seeing as they're listening to the feedback and stuff, I think we're heading in a good spot. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. If you guys have taken a break from Rivals, I know some of my community members in my Discord have said they have. What is the reason why you took a break? If you didn't take a break, tell me why you're still playing. You know, just let me know what you guys are, you know, doing and thinking. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. And yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.